95 Miata, Mazda Miata. I'm doing all 4 rotors all around the whole car, new brake pads. Not gonna go too crazy with it. These are the new rotors here. We're using slotted, drilled brake pads on there. So this should be pretty straightforward. Usually these rotors are, most likely this one has the original rotors on. So might be rusted, might be stuck on, but there's always a way to get them off. So hopefully it shouldn't be that bad of a job. Let's see what happens. All right, so now is now's a good time to inspect. Now that you got this wheel off of here, you want to inspect around here. This boot right here, you can see right there is all busted up. So, but I don't see anything leaking here. You know what? I'll put a pry bar behind this later on, and I'll see if these bushings here are bad. Same back here. Yeah, this all right. This tire right here needs to be replaced. You can see right there is busted up, but that's an easy fix. But anyway, let me concentrate on this rotor here. You can see right here, see all this stuff is glazed up. Like I said, this kid just bought this car. My chick just bought this car, so it looks like it's probably been sitting for a while. So anyway, these brake discs are gonna be replaced. You can see right here, they all went to hell. So all right, so let me get going on this here. All right, to get the caliper off the bracket, this uses a 14 millimeter on the top, and on the bottom one here uses a 17. 14 millimeter on the top, 17 millimeter on the bottom. All right, I forgot to mention too, the caliper bolt here is 10, and again, as with the other ones, the caliper bracket bolts are 14s. So you want to get these pins off. You want to let it rest on a bucket or something like this. Yeah, they're pretty bad. Alright, so leave these pins in here. Get this guy out. Alright. Now this bracket here has to come off. Alright, so the bolts that hold in the caliper bracket are 14 millimeters, top and bottom. Alright, so the bracket's off. There's the everything looks alright so far. Alright, as far as this brake disc right here, this rotor doesn't look too bad. There is a lot of glazing on it. It's got a little ridge here and a little ridge up here, but I think they can be turned. Get them on a lathe or something, take a couple of thousands off on this side too. So maybe sandblast up front here. So yeah, I think these rotors are salvageable. Let me get this like a glove. All right, so that fits like a glove here, perfect. I already cleaned the surface front and back with brake cleaner. Cleaned it like 3 times. You gotta be careful. You don't want to get your pads contaminated, because once you get them contaminated, you gotta throw them out. Repeat the whole process. So everything's cleaned up, both sides. Surfaces are cleaned with brake cleaner. All right, let me get everything back together. All right, so the bolts are bolted back in, top and bottom. I torqued it down about 70 pounds, between 60 and 70 pounds. It costs between 56 and 75 pounds, but 65, 70 pounds, you do it is fine. The The caliper brackets on the caliper bolts are gonna be about 35, about 40 pounds, something like that. Again, you want to make sure you lube up the bolts and make sure they travel nice and freely. Yeah, I got it set here. Alright, like I mentioned earlier, the torque specs for the caliper run between 35 and 56. I went up to 45, so you gotta get all retarded with it. The bracket is torqued down to I forgot what I mentioned earlier, but torqued down the specs too. Everything's nice. I'll get the wheel back on. One thing I forgot to mention is you want to try to get these pins back in here. These clips right here, they just slide right into these holes right here. See the hole right there? Just slip it in there. I mean, it doesn't need it. It's not critical, but if it's there and they're working fine, just slap them back on. I like to do things the old school way. Use a regular C-clamp. You know, you want to take your cap off from here, take some of the pressure off of it, or you can use a brake tool set over there like the one I have over there, but I just find this method here is easier. I've been using this for years, never had a problem with it. Yeah, I don't have any impact sockets, so it'll do. All right, passenger side, the same deal. Everything's same order. Everything has to come out the same way. You can see this one is even bad. It's even worse. See this here? All that's glazed. See the brake pads there? I wouldn't be surprised if this is all original. So same deal on this side. Everything has to come off the same exact way I did on the other side. All right, like I mentioned to you earlier, this rotor right here is seized down here. You see right here how rusted it is. So what you want to do in a situation like this, you see this threaded hole right here? You want to get this bolt right here. I forgot what size this is, but you get the idea. You're gonna screw it in here until it hits the back here, and you're just gonna keep cranking it. It's gonna break it. It's gonna break it loose. So don't be alarmed if you hear stuff like rattling back there or whatever. It's just the bolt pushing the rotor out. I can't do it with one hand while I'm holding the camera, but you get the idea. Just crank away. It'll separate the rotor from the hub in the back. All right, so driver's side, front is in the books already. This is already done. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the passenger side. All right, so passenger side, front, completed already. You can see right here. So now I'm getting ready for the back passenger. Same deal with this one here. Rotor is seized down here. You can see all the rust right here. Again, you got to put the bolt in here in that little spot there, tighten it down. This is again a 14. You want to get it on there and just start cranking away. You're gonna hear it pop. Don't be startled by it. See that? See it coming loose. Alright, so you can see right here, this rotor is pretty bad here. This one is bad. Yeah, not that bad. I mean, you can cut it down if you wanted to, but why bother? The back ones, they're cheaper, always cheaper than the front ones. Alright, so back wheel is done. Back passenger side, so the whole car's all done. So the Miata's done, 95 Mazda Miata. All four rotors, front and back. All done. I'll bleed them tomorrow, but car stops good now. No squealing, nothing like that. So I'm satisfied with the way the car came out. It's not a big job. Like I said, on a scale from 1 to 10, with 10 being the hardest, it's about a 6 or a 5, even a 5. Just use common sense, right? So, all right, so I'm a happy camper, man. I'm satisfied with this. All right, so now I'm gonna bleed the brakes, not flush out. you always want to start from the farthest one, which is gonna be farthest wheel, which is gonna be passenger side in the back. Then switch over to the driver's side in the back, and then passenger side on the front, and then finish off with this one. But I want to show you something. Look how filthy this oil is. On the left is dirty oil that's been in that car right there. This is what it's supposed to look like. This is why it's critical you flush out your brake system like every 3 years or so, 2 years or so. Now I have to bleed out that whole system, everything, until it runs clear. So the Miata's done. All the lines going to all the wheels were flushed out. Everything was flushed until the fluid began to run clear. No problems. Before the flush, the brakes was kind of spongy, wasn't stopping properly. Now she's running fine, stops on a dime. I took her for a little spin around the complex there, and she's stopping perfectly. But yeah, it behooves us all to flush our brake system like every 2 or 3 years or so. Get that stuff stopping right. So I didn't bother posting a video on it because anyone can do it. It's pretty much self-explanatory. There's a plethora of videos on YouTube showing how to flood, how to bleed a brake system. But anyway, I hope this helps someone out. Again, this is a '95 Mazda Miata. Yep.